Okay, let's start. Good evening. Hello, dear participants of this introduction webinar of ICPIC's Psychedelic Integration Coach Training webinar. Observe, please, the question here at the first slide. What do you expect from this coach training introduction webinar? And think about that while I am doing my introduction. You may interrupt me if you feel like you are having a specific question. Otherwise, there will be at the end of my presentation a opportunity to ask for questions. So, without further ado, psychedelic integration is timely. If you Google the news left and right, the need is popping up for psychedelic assisted therapy. It is becoming mainstream, and there is a need for professionals that can accompany individuals who embark on this journey. Psychedelics have many use cases, and one of them is psychedelic assisted therapy, where people use this altered state of consciousness to gain insights, have a spiritual awakening, to help in their self-knowledge. And professionals are needed in this market to help them along all the process of the journey. A little bit before we enter into the substance of this, who is your coach trainer? Who is the person who is talking now to you? My name is Márton Mányai. I'm an ICF PCC. This stands for Professional Certified Coach. I am the founder and director of ICPIC, Institute for Certified Psychedelic Integration Coaching. I'm a helping professional with 16 years of multinational, multi-industry experience. I have lived and worked in Hungary. I am a Hungarian citizen, Germany, Switzerland, and in Spain. I currently reside in Barcelona. Before that, I have lived 2 years in Madrid. So I'm a diploma theologian pastor of the Pentecostal Theological Seminary. I graduated in 2007. I'm also a diploma senior supervisor. I graduated at Karoli University in 2011. Ever since, I'm a member of MSCT, Magyar Szupervizorok és Szupervizor Coachok Társasága, which is belongs to ANZE, a European umbrella organization. I'm a solution-focused brief coach by training, which is an ICF ACTP course, and I am, as I mentioned, a PCC since 2015, and I'm also a member of ICF. ICF stands for International Coaching Federation. I'm an active ICF mentor coach, an ICF PCC marker assessor. So what is a mentor coach? Under ICF regulations, coach students have to come to mentoring to get insight and feedback on their coaching, audios typically, and that's what I can give under the ICF umbrella. And I'm also been trained and certified as a PCC marker assessor. So I'm eligible to receive PCC level, professional level of coaching audio recordings and to assess them and give my, so to speak, blessing during the accreditation of a aspiring coaching student. So I am deep in the depths of embedded in ICF work. To continue, I have over 2,500 coaching hours under my belt. I coach in 3 languages, English, German, and Hungarian, for 14 years now. I've had more than 230 coaches from around the globe, US, Europe, Africa, Middle East, Australia. And I have had facilitated trainings for over 1,000 people. I'm also a diploma drawing assessment specialist, again, from Karoli University. I'm allowing here another participant. I'm a Jungian coach and I'm a Symbolon specialist. Both are ICF accredited trainings. Welcome, Akos. Be mindful that this is being recorded. Welcome. And also Symbolon specialist. And which is the most relevant for you to hear now is that I have done the IPI, which stands for Integrated Psychiatry Institute's Psychedelic Assisted Therapy Provider training course 2 years ago. And I also did the MDMA Assisted Therapy Provider Education course of MAPS, which stands for Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, that was granted to IPI the same year. So, fun fact that I was member of the first cohort of IPI of this nature. So I am truly a pioneer in this regard. And potentially you, dear participants of this webinar, those of you who end up starting with me here in February 2025 would have a chance of being the first cohort of this integration coach training course. So here you can find my certificates. Later, I will be able to put the actual link where you can validate this. So in the training course, you'll see hours and hours of actual recorded psychedelic assisted therapy work with me. So this is a screenshot of such a video. The client gave consent to be shared specifically for the training students' teaching material, which is a huge privilege. Also at IPI training course, we have watched several video clips of actual MDMA-assisted therapy, which is, of course, invaluable to see and feel and basically be there in the room virtually through a recording is priceless. So at this point, I'm also very grateful for the client who participated in allowing that learning for you guys to happen. I'm jumping here through these client testimonials. Maybe you can read them later while this is being put on the website. Again, jumping through this. So in 2011, I was in Budapest at the TEDx Youth Conference. I spoke about creativity as a supervisor and a coach. So even 13 years ago, I was in this genre. And ICPIC follows the MAPS protocol. So MAPS is the one who is currently giving the highest professional standards of psychedelic assisted therapy. They are that US-based NGO who has supported countless research projects supporting data, scientific benefits of psychedelic assisted therapy. And they have, if anyone, they have the chance to get approved. In spite of all the efforts, unfortunately, a couple of weeks ago or months ago, the American Federation of Drug Assessment, FDA, was rejecting the trial of or the application of MAPS as a protocol for psychedelic assisted therapy, which was a blow to all of our faces, but it carries some promise as well. So what can be known is now that for another couple of years, psychedelic assisted therapy, as in terms of psychotherapeutic modality, will not yet be legal or mainstreamed, or wouldn't have that professional standards that, of course, everyone was hoping. So this means that for another couple of years, there will be no real professional boundaries how to conduct psychedelic assisted therapy. So this increases the validity, for example, of our coach training program, because people will continue to use psychedelics for their journey of healing or learning. And it's better if they have trained providers. I'm curious about your thoughts around that MAPS news later in the Q&A. So this was one of the slides that we learned at IPI, which is available, of course, on nature.com. It's published research. So this is the MDMA-assisted therapy for severe PTSD. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress syndrome, a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled phase 3 study. So phase 3 is that last stage before it is being subjected to the FDA. So the procedure of and timeline of a study is shown in this flow diagram. So the whole journey starts with a screening, which you hear in the 0th step, so to speak. And there you see here with orange, 3 preparatory sessions. Yeah, welcome, Aaron. And we are jumping here, continuing with the sharing. So the protocol runs with 3 preparatory sessions. And here with the red, you see the experimental session, or this is the actual dosing session where MDMA was given, followed by 3 integration sessions. So here with green, you see 3 integration sessions, and this is being repeated twice in this protocol. So again, after 3 integration sessions comes a second MDMA session, followed by integration sessions, and a third MDMA session, followed by 3 integration sessions. So this was the protocol, and this is the protocol that ICPIC is also adhering to. So what does this program upskill you for? There are a couple of distinct roles that we can speak here along this journey. Some of you may have heard the term sitter. So the sitter is the person who is quite literally sitting with you while you are on altered state of consciousness and is making sure that you are safe, is co-regulating just with their presence, has a calming effect, and also is handling administrative or practical things like if the bell is ringing in the apartment and so on and so forth. There is a psychedelic assisted therapy provider who is somebody, for example, like me, who has been trained by a body of educators who can carry out the process from A to Z. And there is another role that we are now here to learn more of, is the psychedelic integration coaching. So those are covering all the aspects and efforts that people carry out in order to trying to integrate their experience during that psychedelic session. So, and a narrower scope of that big umbrella would be an ICF level psychedelic integration coaching. What do I mean by that? So ICF is the largest world organization that defines and regulates coaching. And I am here to submit all my standards of education to the ICF standards. So it is a narrower, most professional standard defined what coaching is. If we can look at this from a different angle, where is the focus in this program? So we know about preparation. We just learned about the previous chart is followed by the actual psychedelic trip. That is the main event, glorified by everyone, is followed by, or it carries after the lack of integration. So this is the 3-step process. And basically our coach training program is focusing on the 3rd step on the integration. So to clarify misunderstandings and misconceptions, this is about the integration coaching. So the emphasis is on the coach. This is a coach role. You will be coaches by the end of this process. And when I mean integration, preparation is understood as part of integration. So you will learn to become also a consultant in a hybrid role. Half of it is coach role and the other half is actually a consultant role where you are allowed and actually required to impart knowledge and instructing your future clients how to conduct safely in this space. So this is my flowchart, which you can also see on the website, icpic.ch. This is my psychedelic assisted therapy process flowchart. Should come to no surprise. In the training program, you will see and get access to the health screening questionnaire and consent form. So these are at least 2 and separate documents that I make the client sign. And this is a rigorous health screening questionnaire. I absolutely have halted cooperation with potential clients based on the outcome of this questionnaire. And I was very grateful that I caught those answers that I could no way know otherwise unless I had another form of inquiry, maybe orally, which would have taken longer. So after a health screening questionnaire, I offer typically a 30-minute initial consultation on Zoom, which is still no strings attached, which is still free, where we can decide if we can and want to work together. And then typically this, after if the both of us greenlight the other, so to speak, then this is the package that I am selling. I do not offer separately I do not offer psychedelics just raw. That would make me practically a drug dealer, which I am not. And I am also not offering just dosing session as a sitter without any context or setting. So I am only willing to engage in this process as a helping professional, as a journey with a series of meetings, typically 3 preparation online consultations and 3 integration sessions. So service providers co-design the vehicle of their service. What do I mean by that? So a picture is worth 1,000 words, and obviously either an architect or the manufacturer of this road made a big mistake insinuating or leading on bicyclists to carry on this road that is clearly facing here a big road bump, the least to say. And who is being held accountable for this mishap if the cyclist is suffering an accident? So this is my metaphor of the accountability and responsibility that you and I, potential service providers, are facing when we are putting ourselves up on the internet or when we represent ourselves, our services to future clients, insinuating that that will be safe. If you, dear client, engage with me based on the rules and norms that I insinuate to do, then you can trust me and you'll be fine, is the insinuation. And of course, things can go wrong and sometimes very wrong. So this is a more drastic image of how things can be set up in a bad manner. So you and I are responsible for what we do. Especially, I mean this because the term coach is not protected, and it carries this amazing advantage and also horrible disadvantage with it that unregulation means. Contrary to psychotherapy, which is a protected term, only trained and certified psychotherapists can call their services psychotherapy, and anybody and their mother can call themselves coaches and can call whatever they do coaching. So I just want to put it right out there that it screams for the need of ethical and proper behavior, ethical conduct. And here is where also ICF, the biggest world organization that is defining and regulating coaching, coming very handy. You want to have a professional body that you can reference your knowledge to. You want to have future colleagues that you can compare your coach knowledge to. So this is what ICF and my hopefully successful accreditation will enable you to do, is to have a, so to speak, a professional family of worldwide coaches that in the basics, you should speak the same language, professional language, when what you mean by when you say you are a coach and what you do is this coaching. So I brought in already the aspect, the difference, and this is one of the most important differences, that this is not psychotherapy, but coaching. So psychotherapy, here's a quick comparison. In psychotherapy, it aims to heal and restore baseline functioning. Coaching optimizes performance and helps reach goals. Psychotherapy works with a not healthy population. Coaches work with healthy, normal population. Psychotherapists call their customer patient. Coaches call their customers coachee, client. Psychotherapy is regulated by healthcare provider laws. Coaching is unregulated or poorly regulated field. Psychotherapy is trademarked and regulated profession. Coaching is an ICF and other world or associations can define standards of coaching. Psychotherapy deals with the past and present typically. Coaching deals with the future and present. Psychotherapy are health professionals, and they are the expert in the room. With coaching, the coachee is the expert in the room, namely the expert of their own life. That's a very basic foundation of assumptions in coaching. So the psychotherapist diagnoses and decides on treatment plan. In coaching, the coach does not diagnose, but can have hypotheses. So another important slide here is that in this genre, we need to navigate around two major pitfalls. The first pitfall is that it is illegal to advertise as, excuse me, it is illegal to advertise as and do psychotherapy or other healing modality if you are not a licensed psychotherapist. Also, for example, in Hungary, but other countries as well, there are actually laws. In Hungarian, it's called Kuruzsló törvény, that regulates exactly this, that if you are not a healthcare provider, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a physician, you cannot advertise wonder pills without consequences, without legal consequences. You cannot just go ahead and invent a magic shampoo and claim that this heals everything. So you can be prosecuted under law. The same goes for mental health and healing. So the consequence is that the language used will not be medicalizing here. Clients indeed must not be in the need of actual healing or arriving with diagnoses of illnesses or disorders. It limits your target audience. So again, I am very transparent here. Some of the incoming health questionnaire answers, you already know that you cannot work with that client if they have a tricky personality disorder or other type of diagnosis that is just very grave, that this person is clearly in need of healing, coming back to baseline functioning, and is not in need of coaching, even if it's in the context of psychedelic integration coaching. So it's beautifully, logically, hopefully understandable. So it limits your target audience, whom you are ethically able to work with, even after successfully getting certified here. You do not have the competency to diagnose illness, but you need to be able to read red flags at screening a potential client and offer psychoeducation in a consultant role. So yeah, that is part of the expertise that you'll be able to point directions if you are not the best fit for that client. You have an ethical and sometimes legal duty to refer clients to better fitting service providers. So another major pitfall is that it is illegal to condone and administer illegal substances where this is the jurisdiction. You mustn't offer anyone illegal substances. So this training does not negate the laws of the countries where you reside in or that you are citizens of. So you cannot advertise on the internet that you are offering psychedelics or psychedelic whatever if it is illegal. So big disclaimer here. You have to protect both of you legally by distancing yourself from even appearing to promote illegal substances. For example, letting waivers signed or having a liability insurance. Your attitude and your image should be framed under harm reduction efforts and education efforts. You need to make clear verbal and written statements about this and asking your clients for verbal and written consent. So this is a tricky modality that you have decided to get deeper knowledge in. And these are some very practical, sometimes legal, sometimes ethical guidelines that I'm already giving you away. So it means that you'll have some healthy boundaries of competencies as a graduate of ICPIC's training program. A professional is marked by their awareness of their competencies, where they start and where they finish, and is accountable to them. So this certificate training gives you an excellent toolbox to facilitate psychedelic integration coaching sessions with healthy, normal population, meaning for the purpose of increasing, for example, self-knowledge, spirituality, reaching goals, crossing ritual thresholds in life, crossing transitional life phases. I have found that these are some safe buzzwords, keywords to mention that is valid to work with. And see, this is not medicalizing language. This certificate training does not give you additional scope of competency other than your previous training and certifications licenses already do. If you happen to be a licensed psychotherapist in this training, then by all means, you can carry on psychotherapy, and you can call your psychedelic integration sessions psychotherapy, but for the rest of us, this is not the case. You mustn't condone the use of illegal substances in jurisdictions where they are prohibited, and the boundaries of ICF Code of Ethics are relevant. So, coming more practical now, the training course consists of 130 hours. It is fully done online via Zoom, like right now. It has 3 modules. The first module is called Coaching Base, which has approximately 70 hours, and circa half, which actually pretty much all of it is synchronous contact hours. This synchronous contact hours, this is right now that I'm having with you, that you are present even digitally and not listening to a recording. And Coaching Advanced first module has approximately 50 hours, and the third module, Coaching Advanced, the second is approximately 10 hours. This is really a very practical module for those who attempt to do PCC exam. So, the Coaching Base, you'll gain foundational knowledge and skills in coaching techniques that are tailored to the unique needs of individuals integrating psychedelic experiences. You get a deep dive into the theory, the ethics, and practices of psychedelic integration coaching. Approximately 70 hours, we will explore case studies and real-life scenarios to deepen your understanding and hone your coaching skills. You'll right away get access to the whole video, a recording of that specific client whom I showed screenshot of, and we will analyze from A to Z, back and forth, what I am doing there. So I am with the client, and in group, in small group conversations, you will dissect every minute of that specific focus of interest, and see what I did, what worked, what I could have done differently, why did the client do what they did. So it is very much observational as well. You will explore in-depth solution-focused brief approach to integration and coaching. So this is also very transparent that the main modality that you will be using here is solution-focused brief coaching. And you will be coaching from day one. It is not a traditional university lecture where, in spite of the appearances now, you listen to me in a very unidirectional manner while I talk and you are listening. But the actual coach training is rather dynamic, and you will have very practice-oriented sessions with lots of training and exercises. So the concrete dates, the dates for the first cohort in 2025 So all times are each day from 4 to 7:30 in the afternoon, Central European time. These are all Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and these are the dates. So starting February 4th and 5th up until May 21st. Coaching base ends in what is this, 3.5 months. This is approximately 70 hours already. And additionally, you'll have books to read and yeah, tons of opportunity to learn. And then the second module, Coaching Advanced, is building upon the foundational skills and delve deeper into advanced solution-focused brief coaching methodologies on professional coach level. So this is for those of you who want to shoot for the PCC level, which is required. So PCC level needs to have a minimum of 125 hours of coach training. ACC level needs 60 hours of coach training. So you'll be able to make milestones regarding this. So in each case, it's true that it's a small group size, maximum 20 participants will be one cohort. So you will have guaranteed focus time on the individuals. I will be able to interact with you. It will not be a huge mass of namelessness. The prerequisite of this program is a successful completion of coaching base. And the dates are pretty much set. I just need to put it on the website. It will be coming pretty much right after coaching base, starting in June. Then we will end up in summer break and continue in September. And Coaching Advanced is really 10-hour long. It consists 3 mentoring hours as it is required by ICF to carry this program. Yeah, you will receive opportunity to coach. You will receive written and verbal feedback on your coaching, and your performance will be evaluated by ICF standards of PCC level of coaching. And you get written feedback by a certified PCC marker assessor. Exactly. So so this is basically the same thing with pretty colored dots here. Yeah, I mentioned all this. So it is very much practice oriented. As I mentioned, you will be working the practical coaching actually from day one. Yeah, so you will, in the knowledge base, so for administrative purposes, I will need to separate church and state, so to speak. So need to separate the ICF coaching program and separate the psychedelic stuff to not mingle to the percentage of what is required by ICF core competencies. So you'll have an administratively separate entity, which is called Psychedelic Knowledge Base, which consists of topics covered in various means, may that be articles or lectures, watching videos, or other forms of dissection around topics such as set and setting, around coach self-management and self-care, the ethics of working with psychedelics and non-ordinary state of consciousness, ethics of integration coaching. You'll hear about the history and the psychedelic landscape. You'll hear about the pharmacology, the effect, dosage of psychedelic substances, the use of music during a trip, and you'll be we'll discuss the intake assessment questionnaire template. So you'll hear about the contraindication of psychedelics, when not to use these substances. We'll talk about what is quote unquote difficult trips. We will hear about relational contracting, which is not usually covered in coach trainings, but which is vital in this manner. You'll hear about microdosing, about the interdisciplinarity of our profession. You'll hear about the MAPS treatment manual. It's one of the obligatory reading materials, the MAPS treatment protocol. You'll hear about the transference and countertransference and how you can navigate around those. You'll have a written test to ensuring that obligatory readings are digested. There will be three obligatory books to read. One is Peter Szabó's, the Switzerland-based and not the Hungarian Szabó Péter, not to mix up. So the Swiss master coach Peter Szabó's Coaching Plain and Simple titled book. The other will be Marc Aixala's, the Spanish Barcelona-based lecturer of mine at IPI. He wrote a wonderful book on psychedelic integration. And the third is the MAPS treatment, protocol for MDMA-assisted therapy. You will learn about the potential possibility to apply for ACC and PCC knowledge tests at ICF to later gain these titles if the program gets accreditation, and coach exam to coach a professional coach for the student who aims for the professional certified coach level. So who is this training program for? It is for you if even in the foreseeable future you won't have the right to prescribe or administer psychedelics due to lack of certification as a health service provider, if you're not a doctor or psychiatrist, etc. If due to lack of aforementioned certifications, you likely won't be able to have a legal license, neither in the future to be a psychedelic therapist in psychedelic clinics, based on likely FDA requirement one day in the future. Or if you currently don't get taken into training programs such as MAPSs or IBIs for the lack of required degrees. If you aim to have the ICF level of knowledge and techniques of coaching, which is transferable to other contexts as well. So this is an open secret that you'll be trained as a coach in the context of psychedelic integration, but the methods, the principles of coaching are pretty much the same and is applicable for other contexts as well. If you have a broad mindset and can deconceptualize that, then you have gotten yourself as a byproduct, a general coach training as well. And actually, yeah, so that's just too much to carry, but it's a great byproduct that you end up becoming a coach in the journey. And this training program is right for you if you find value in the emphasis of the preparation and integration work and not so much in the sitting with the client for the trip itself. So basically, you have to have general coach values. So what are those? Some of this is active listening. If you're a curious person, if you like to listen more than proclaiming the truth or giving advice. So a coach is somebody who is facilitating the learning of another being and not somebody who is proclaiming the truth that they believe in. It takes a distinct personality type, I guess, or a distinct type of person. Not everyone is born to be a good coach or coach, period. So that's one of the guiding posts there. This program, again, is right for you if you prefer working with healthy, normal population and can therefore stick to the ethics of being a coach on a high standard and not a wannabe therapist acting unethically. So you need to be able to be fine with having a target audience that are healthy normals. If you have a minimum of 50 hours of self-knowledge experience with a guidance and feedback of a professional, for example, having been in psychotherapy, art therapy, supervision, group psychodrama, family constellation, and so forth. But reading and watching films does not count as self-knowledge. So I will later show you the link to the application form, and then you are required to upload some sort of proof that you have received a minimum of 50 hours of self-knowledge experience. If you are not hitting yet the 50, but you are making a commitment that you are gaining those 50, then please do not be discouraged of application. But ideally that, I had to set somewhere the minimum. This program is right for you if you are interested in psychedelic integration, of course, and if you are confident in your English language skills. So if you are listening now to me and you can understand this, this is a good sign. And if you have already experience with psychedelics firsthand and know the life-changing power of them, applicants with previous psychedelic experience are being favored. For, of course, legal reasons, I can't make this mandatory. I cannot, force anyone to speak about their psychedelic experiences in countries where this is illegal. So my wording is it is strongly recommended to have had it done. So this is, again, I'm skipping now a slide that you can watch later in the recording if you're interested, and pause the recording. And jumping right to my challenge and invitation to you. So be part of the psychedelic renaissance. Invest in your passion, your calling, and attain the coaching skills and technique within short months and be part of the solution for your future clients. Imagine what can be possible only in 1 year if you go through the whole 3 modules. So where this will help you with, what will you use this skill and knowledge for? Imagine that this is part of your toolbox. Where would this elevate you professionally and also privately? And where would this elevate your clients if you have this expertise? Talking about value and price. So psychedelic integration coach trainings, this is no secret. You can Google this pretty much. Go for typically 10 to 14,000 US dollars. That may be inferior to this program. And also purely ICF-accredited general coach training programs are distinctly above this price tag, which do not give anything regarding psychedelic context. And this program later will also be matched somewhere along those levels of fees, tuition fees. But I do acknowledge that it takes trust to participate in a pilot program, and I want to honor that trust with the lower tuition fee. So what am I talking about? So the base program, the first module, is now for the very first cohort only 1,497 euros, which is a lot less than you pay for an ICF certified coach training program. Again, Google is your friend. You don't have to take my word for it. Just Google ICF level 1 and level 2 training programs, and you'll see for yourself at what prices they go. You not only get the ICF level knowledge from a PCC lecturer and mentor coach and IPI alumni, but the psychedelic integration coach skills context to give you a head start in the market. Members of BIPOC, so this is Black, Indigenous, Person of Color, and LGBTQ community can apply for further discount. You may also ask for payment plan of monthly installments if that is more bearable for you. If you meet the application requirements, then apply today. Do not postpone it. Apply today at this website, icpic.ch/coach training. So in a couple of minutes, the floor is yours to ask your questions. And I'm very curious where you will, what is your vision, what you intend to use this for. So there will be actually a application form that you can download on this website. You can already make arrangements on getting the proof of your 50 hours of self-knowledge and the rest of it. And remember that the first 20 qualifying applicants who pay the tuition fee make up a closed cohort, and we are starting February 2025. So I will have to make a cut at 20, and that is that. And if you purchase all 3 modules at once, meaning the base, the advanced 1 and 2, you get 10% off, and cannot combine that with other scholarships or discounts. So the final tuition fee then is not 4,000 euro, but 3,750. And even for that, you can ask for a payment plan of monthly 350 euros installments for 12 months. So you can save today by that choice 250 euros. And my best offer is either you choose the first module base for 4 times 375 euros per month, or the best offer that I can do is doing all 3 modules combined for monthly installments of 350 per month for 12 months. So this was me on a nice professional photo shoot, and the floor is yours to ask questions and answers. And please unmute yourself, and I am stopping the recording now.